Welcome to Day 64. Today we're diving into a fascinating story from Numbers chapters 23 to 25. It's about Balaam, Balak, and the Israelites' challenges. Have you ever thought about why Balak wanted Balaam to curse Israel?
Yeah, it's interesting. Balak saw Israel as a threat and hoped Balaam's curse would weaken them. But Balaam ended up blessing Israel instead. Why do you think that happened?
I think it's all about divine power. Balaam understood he couldn't speak against what God commanded. Balak expected curses, but Balaam was bound to deliver God's message. It's like trying to swim against a strong current. You just can't.
That's a great analogy. And Balaam built 7 altars, offering bulls and rams each time. What's the significance of those 7 altars?
7 often symbolizes completeness or perfection in the Bible. Building 7 altars might represent a full, earnest plea for God's response. It shows Balaam's serious intent to seek divine guidance before speaking.
So even though Balak wanted a curse, Balaam's connection with God was stronger. The words Balaam spoke were blessings. How do these blessings describe Israel?
Balaam describes Israel as a people who dwell alone and are not counted among nations, almost like a unique, chosen tribe. He sees them strong, like a lion, and their king exalted. It's poetic and powerful imagery.
Right? And it's interesting how Balaam says, "How shall I curse whom God has not cursed?" It shows the limits of human power compared to divine will.
Exactly. It's like Balaam was a messenger forced to obey a higher authority. Even Balak's anger couldn't change the outcome.
Moving on, Balaam also prophesies about a star rising out of Jacob. What's the meaning behind that?
The star and scepter symbolize future leadership and dominion. Many interpret it as a messianic prophecy. It points to a time when Israel's power and influence will grow, crushing their enemies like Moab and Edom.
That's a hopeful vision amid the conflict. But then, in chapter 25, things take a dark turn with Israel's sin involving Moabite women. How did that affect the people?
It was disastrous. Israel's people began worshipping Baal of Peor, angering God. A plague broke out, killing 24,000. This shows how quickly a community can fall into trouble when they stray spiritually.
And Phinehas' action, killing the Israelite man and Midianite woman, stopped the plague. That's a dramatic moment. What do you make of it?
Phinehas' zeal is seen as turning away God's wrath. It's a tough story because it involves violence, but it emphasizes the seriousness of covenant faithfulness and the consequences of sin.
It also leads to God's covenant of peace with Phinehas and his descendants. So his action had lasting spiritual significance.
Yes, it's like a reminder that sometimes decisive acts are necessary to preserve a community's integrity, but it raises questions about justice and mercy too.
Definitely. And the final command to harass the Midianites connects back to the deception at Peor. Israel had to respond to external threats tied to internal failures.
It's a complex narrative. Blessings, curses, sin, judgment, and redemption all intertwined. It shows the dynamic relationship between God, His people, and surrounding nations.
What lessons do you think we can draw today from Balaam's story and Israel's struggles?
One key lesson is that true power lies in obedience to divine will, not human plans. Balaam's inability to curse Israel reminds us that some things are beyond manipulation.
I agree. Also, the danger of compromising one's values is clear in Israel's sin with the Moabites. It shows how easily a community can be led astray and suffer consequences.
And Phinehas' story challenges us to consider when and how to stand up for what's right, even if it's difficult.
So true. It's like the story balances hope and warning. Blessings come with responsibility.
Exactly. And it invites us to reflect on our own commitments and how we deal with challenges.
Before we wrap up, what do you think about Balak's reaction to Balaam's blessings? Was it just frustration or something deeper?
Probably both. Balak expected control. He thought he could hire a curse like a service. Balaam's blessing shattered that illusion, showing that some things can't be bought or forced.
It's a reminder that sometimes we misunderstand power and influence, expecting quick results instead of respecting deeper forces.
Right? The story challenges us to rethink how we perceive authority and destiny.
This has been a rich discussion. Any final thoughts?
Just that this story, while ancient, still speaks today about integrity, faith, and the limits of human control.
Agreed. And it leaves us wondering, how do we respond when our plans don't align with a higher purpose?
A great question to ponder. Thanks for the conversation.
Thank you. Looking forward to next time. God